Hi everyone, welcome to ZyNerd session on the PwD rules and processes. There have been new rules and new process that has been defined. The method is the same, still you go to the disability centers and get your certificates, but there has been slight change in the process. We'll have a look at this. In case you want to know why these changes and what has happened and what clearly needs to be done, what is the Supreme Court judgment, you can go to ZyNerd, YouTube, search for ZyNerd PwBD candidates, and you will see this first result on ZyNerd's PwD candidates, the entire case, Om Rathod case of last year, which was a landmark judgment. Everything has been explained over here, and what exactly needs to happen as far as the PwD candidates are concerned. What needs to happen at the PwD center has also been explained over here. This is something which is a landmark judgment which is helping PwD candidates getting into basically the medical courses where earlier disability was evaluated in a completely different way, and now there is a better method as suggested by the court for evaluation of disability. We'll quickly look at what the notification says. If you go to basically MCC's portal, this is the notification that has come up. We'll quickly run you through the notification. Basically, basis the judgment, there are supposed to be new guidelines which are prescribed clearly by the National Medical Commission for UG and PG. Right now, since this judgment came in October 2024, but there hasn't been much work done. It is a very detailed process, especially for PG. For each specialty, you have to define who is eligible based on the level of disability or the evaluation of disability. Since NMC has not done it, they have said right now we will go with an interim guideline. For this year only, this interim guideline is available, and this is how it will be processed this year. So what we are also concerned about for NEET PG 2025 is what will happen this year. If you are a PwD candidate, that will help you. Now here, first thing is all candidates with benchmark disabilities with a valid UD ID card and Universal Disability ID card issued by the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. If you are a PwD candidate, most likely you would be having this UD ID card, or you get this. This is a requirement. If you have a valid UD ID card, you will be considered for admission in postgraduate courses. The evaluation of 50%, 60% as previous year, that is a different thing, but your UD ID card is what is necessary. You won't be evaluated at the institute as far as this disability percentage is concerned. That is a judgment. Now, this is a requirement. In the disability center, when you go there, the 40 to 80%, less than 40%, what happens with AIDS, without AIDS, that will not be evaluated directly like last year. You need to have an UDID card. That is the first criteria. What are the documents that are mandatory? First thing is you need to go fix up an appointment with the UDID centers. The UDID centers are listed here in the portal itself. You have all the UDID centers listed. You can go to the UDID centers and get an appointment. Now this time they have increased the number of disability centers. There are multiple disability centers in each state that are added. So 33 disability centers are there. Some are new in the state. So take advantage of this and you will be able to get an appointment in these disability centers. Usually it takes 2 to 3 days for certain disabilities. If the person is not there, or there might be a 2-day evaluation that is required, results will come up only on the second day. It might be a 2-day, 3-day period. This time it might be simpler, but still accommodate for that. Call them up and see if that particular person, the physician or the person who is evaluating is available, the slots are available, etc., and then go plan travel. So any one of these 33 disability centers you need to go. This is for all India counseling. What we are talking about is for all India counseling. Some states might accept this, but as of now, for all India counseling, definitely this is the way to proceed. Now, what is the process? You go to the disability centers. What do you need to carry? We are taking this, we are mentioning it in detail over. It is mentioned twice. It is mentioned in detail over here. If you want all India quota seats under PwBD, same for DNB seats under PwBD. Government institutes have a reservation in DNB or NBE Diploma. If you want that PwD seats under all India counseling, then you need to go to these disability centers. Some states might accept this directly for their state counselings. Many states might have their medical disability board to evaluate. That is a different process. Now for all India only we are talking about. NEET PG 2025 result card demonstrating eligibility for the PG course. This is a qualification thing only. You just take your results card, that is sufficient. Valid UDID card is issued by the dedicated authority, which is basically Department of Empowerment, as we know. Self-certification form. We will go to this form. There is a general self-certification form. We will show this that you need to take. 1. Second, there is an affidavit specific to your disability. So if you have hearing disability, you need to produce an affidavit. If you have a learning disability, then there is another affidavit for it. So one affidavit which is specific to your disability. If there are multiple disabilities, you might take one, but multiple, but one affidavit minimum. This, and here self certification. So there is a self certification, there is an affidavit. Along with that, you need to take your UDID card and the NEET PG results for the disability center. In case you have your certificates, you can carry your certificates like the previous year, the local disability center, the district disability center certificates, etc. That all the reports you can carry with you, but this is what is mandatory. The certificate will be generated by the center itself. There you go, they will log into MCC's portal only. MCC has given all the disability centers a portal to log in. They will log in, enter all the details after the evaluation, and they will generate a certificate, and they will give that certificate to you. It is an online generated certificate. Does not mean you don't need to go there physically. You need to go there physically, but the report will be generated, the certificate will be generated online after they input the details. For disabilities, if you have locomotor or hearing, visual or special learning disabilities or specific learning disabilities or cognitive disabilities, then you have forms for those. But if you don't have any of these disabilities but other forms of disabilities, then you can select others in the general form and then choose the affidavit accordingly. Appendix A category under others. Only those candidates who obtain a disability center. Here you go, in the 33 disability centers, get a certificate. Only then you will be shown PwD choices later. I have filled in PwD as yes in the NEET PG application form. You might not be shown. That this is a new thing that is happening today, this year. We'll have to figure out how that turns up, but get your disability certificate obviously. Don't wait before the choice filling. Let the choice filling start, etc. Right now, fix up the slots and then go ahead and get your disability certificate. This is mentioned as 85% state quota, but 50% state quota. Check with your state whether they want the same disability certificate. It is simpler. You use the same thing, but if they want a different one, they want you to appear in the medical board, then that is a different one. The duties, okay, that is fine. Now, what are they supposed to evaluate? We are not going through the interim guidelines in detail. You can have a group look at the interim guidelines. But now, what we need is a self-certified affidavit. We'll go through the affidavit. The affidavit has to be notarized, and so possibly it needs to be in a stamp paper too. So be ready for that. Your notary will ask it in a stamp paper. What are the affidavits? One, Appendix A, which is a self-certification form, general. Everybody has to carry this. If you, depending upon the disability, you will have to carry C, B, C, D, E, F, hearing or any disability. So 2 certificates per individual. Now first, Appendix A, which is the self-certification affidavit. You are certifying, saying that I have this disability. You have your UDID card and then you are certifying. So you will have to mention what type of disability you have, your UDID number, and the disability percentage is still relevant but from the UDID card. That you have to mention. And if you are using any assistive devices, hearing aids, etc., you can mention it over here. Functional competencies, mention it over here. What is the disability that you have here? So if it is locomotor, you mention over here, hearing, communication, etc. Whether you can do this, you can mention over here. So depending upon which disability you have, you will have to check one of these and demonstrate that I have these competencies. So here you check on the on all the parts, saying that I am able to communicate even though I have the disability, I am able to hear, etc. So that you can communicate depending upon your disabilities. We can choose this and then mention the essential competencies that you intend to pursue and put your signature. It should be notarized by a notary. Nearby you will find a notary public, usually an advocate who is a notary public. You will go there, they will notarize, seal, sign and stamp. After you sign here, they will notarize that. Usually they will ask you to take it in a stamp paper. To take it in a stamp paper to be on the safer side. We've got candidates who have taken it on a stamp paper only. So to be on the safer side, do that. Next, if you have hearing impairment, then you need to add Appendix B. This is also to be notarized. Here you have to mention the functional abilities, that you are able to do this with assistive devices. You have to self-declare, and that needs to be put up, signed by the notary. So second one for hearing disability impaired candidates is this. Similarly, for locomotor disability, along with Appendix A, you have to carry this. For lower extremity disability, locomotor disability of legs, then you will have to carry this. And for mental illness or specific learning disorders or autism or similar disabilities, cognitive disabilities, you will have to carry this. And visual impairment, you will have to carry this. So these are the different appendices that you will need to carry. For one person, usually it is a general certificate, appendix A, and one of these B, C, D, E, F, any one you need to carry. So the centers are available over here. All these need to be notarized. Don't miss that out while you are taking it up. Okay, so that is pretty much what we have. Please ensure that you fix up your slots, go there and know that UDID card is sufficient, and that percentage disability will be taken. Beyond that, your functional competencies need to be checked. Whether what you have mentioned as basic competencies required for doing a PG degree, this is what is mentioned. Whether that is right or not is what the person who is evaluating you needs to check, not to get into in terms of percentages. And they will have to ensure there are multiple guidelines given. That is a landmark judgment. We have gone through that in the video. If you are interested, you can also go through that. If you are facing any difficulties, you should ideally take it up, because that judgment gives PwD candidates a lot of PwD candidates, that facilitates PwD candidates to get it in a very easier way in terms of how they were treated earlier, etc. It gets into that and puts in guidelines clearly to tell everyone that you should help PwD candidates to get into a PG set and avail the deserved eligibility for PwD candidates, rather than trying to be negative about the entire part. So that is a landmark judgment. Please go through that and understand that these are the rights are as per the guidelines or order offered by the Supreme Court of India. Thank you.